Hello! This video will demonstrate everything you need to know in order to achieve the best extraction results using the COFFEEJACK portable espresso machine. As with most high-quality espresso machines, there are a few variables to control. I will explain this process as if everyone here is completely new to making espresso. Remember to subscribe to the channel as we'll be sharing some exciting videos over the coming months. Today I'm using Lavazza coffee beans. I've selected this brand for this demonstration as it is widely accessible for most people watching this video. I'd recommend exploring some dark roast options from your local roasters, as these rich, fresh, oily variants can give some stunning results using COFFEEJACK. One of the big advantages of using a machine that doesn't rely on pods or capsules is that any type of grind can be used. It's just a case of experimenting and finding out which flavors excite your taste buds. But for now, let me show you the remarkable results we can achieve using what we have right here. Let's unbox a brand new COFFEEJACK. As you can see, the booklet within provides lots of information regarding how to use COFFEEJACK, coupled with some beverage inspiration outside the realm of espresso alone. This is the beauty of espresso. It opens up an opportunity to create a variety of different beverages. COFFEEJACK is all about separating itself from the rest and challenging convention. So let's begin the process of making a perfect espresso using COFFEEJACK. It is recommended to hold the main body of COFFEEJACK as opposed to holding the glass whilst removing and replacing the basket. This is your portafilter, and it's where the good stuff goes, the coffee grind. You will see on the bottom of the basket that there is a small valve. This valve offers functionality of a pressurized or unpressurized portafilter and acts as an anti-drip feature whilst in transit. Personally, I prefer extracting without this valve as it becomes an unpressurized portafilter. But for more information on how to remove or add this valve, please visit coffeejack.co.uk. The valve has been designed to give an indication regarding flow rate and viscosity through a combination of geometry and carefully selected shore hardness. If the grind setup is correct, extraction will be a smooth, continuous stream like treacle. Likewise, if the flow rate is also correct, aka how quickly you are pumping, there is a smooth and continuous stream. However, if the viscosity is too low or the pump rate is too fast, the flow of extraction will be less smooth, which indicates that either the grind setup or pump rate needs to be changed. We strongly recommend using a freshly ground, high quality bean. This is so key to creating a great tasting espresso with an impressive crema. Missing this important step is like owning a Ferrari and fitting tyres made of licorice. You probably won't get the same driving experience. Now that we prepared our grind, it's recommended to measure the dosage using a set of scales. I'm weighing for the purpose of this video, but when using COFFEEJACK on a daily basis, you tend to become familiar on the dosage just by eye. Here I have a 15-gram dose. Whilst filling the basket, I tamp very lightly in between loading, just to make space for the additional grind. Once filled, tamp the grind and ensure that the top chamfered edge of the basket is always clean. This edge is used for sealing under high pressure, therefore it must be treated with care. Ensure that the grind level sits around 5mm from the bottom edge of the sealing face like so. Do not under any circumstance overfill the portafilter and force the basket onto COFFEEJACK. This could damage the machine by creating an excessive force on the locking bayonet upon rotation. As an indicator, the basket should always reach the same position relative to the main body, with or without the grind. If this gap is wider than the position with the basket empty, you will need to remove some grind. The basket should always twist and lock into position with ease at all times. If you are using a small glass, one that will not fit around the outer diameter of the basket, or the glass you are using is very fragile, then a stand must be used, which is available on the COFFEEJACK website via the link in the description below. For this demonstration, I'm going to use COFFEEJACK without the stand, as it tends to be featured in most videos online. Using COFFEEJACK with a stand is my personal preference, as it offers versatility for a number of reasons. It is easier to view the extraction flow rate, to adjust pump speed accordingly, and you can extract directly over a variety of different glasses or even small dishes when making affogato, which is espresso and ice cream. This is something I've served on a few occasions when friends have come over for dinner, and it does add a nice little bit of theatre to the table. In the event that excessive pressure is reached during the pump cycle, there is a pressure regulation valve within COFFEEJACK. This valve caps the pressure between 9 to 10 bar, which prevents extraction of any bitter flavours. It also caters for the longevity of the machine, protecting parts and recycling the water back up into the top of the water chamber for extraction at the corrected pressure. This pressure regulation valve acts as a signal to reduce the input force and subsequent pump rate during extraction. It should not open every pump cycle. Actuation is both audible, and you will physically feel a momentary drop in input force. If this happens, slow it down in order for it to not actuate for the remaining pump cycles. Sometimes less is more when it comes to pressure, as anything exceeding 9 to 10 bar could have a negative impact on the taste. Let's place COFFEEJACK over our selected glass and remove the handle. This is the point where we need to add boiling water, but before we do this, I want to talk about something called pre-infusion. This step is really important to achieve great results using COFFEEJACK. This is where water is dispensed to the grind at a low pressure. This essentially wets the grind, and when it is then subject to higher pressures later in the extraction, it is less likely to cause channeling. Channeling is where a passage is created through the grind puck, and the water can find an easy route to the other side without being subject to any significant restriction. Consequently, the extraction process is not subject to a sufficient back pressure, which ultimately results in a poor tasting espresso. Technicalities aside, the process of COFFEEJACK pre-infusion is actually very simple. So let's fill with water and walk through the pre-infusion stage of extraction. Fill the top glass chamber just underneath the bottom edge of the funnel. Now this next little tip isn't essential, but it's something I do frequently before completing the remainder of the pump cycles. I simply rotate the handle and press down to locate the locking pins below. This allows the piston to drop to the top surface of the glass, giving just that extra little bit of stroke whilst pumping. So let's pump very slowly until we see the first couple of drips exiting the bottom of the basket. As soon as this happens, pre-infusion is complete, and it's then time to ramp up to 9 bar by pumping harder until you feel increased back pressure. Then hold the pump speed to maintain a continuous, slow and steady stream. Wait for a few seconds for the basket pressure to equalize, which eliminates any drips whilst removing COFFEEJACK from the glass. Once cooled, remove the basket containing the used grind. Use a blunt, non-metallic device to break apart the grind and carefully remove. Just run the basket and main body shower screen under water to remove the excess grind. There is no need to clean any other areas of the machine, given that all pressure chambers are only subject to clean water with efficient one-way valves. The passing through of boiling water essentially sterilizes the machine for the next use. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. We'll be uploading lots of fun and interesting videos over the coming months. Until next time, goodbye.